What's up, guys? Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com, back with another SketchUp extension modeling tutorial for you. So in today's video, we're going to use the extension ShapeBender in order to create an organically curving linear wood structure. That's a lot of words, but basically what it is we're going to create a shape that follows along a path that we dictate using ShapeBender. So I find ShapeBender to be a great free tool to use anytime you need to bend something along a more linear path. So I use Flowify when I need to bend something along a surface, but if I've got some kind of a flat path, that's when I like to use ShapeBender. So I will link to that extension in the notes down below, and let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, so for this method, what we're going to do is we're going to use these three tools. We're going to use the extension FredoSpline to draw the curve that we want to bend this along. We're going to use ShapeBender in order to bend this along the curve. Then we're going to use FredoScale in order to scale this to give it some, to make it not as uniform. And so what we want to do is we want to start by drawing our curve. And by the way, I will link to all of those in the notes down below. So I'm going to use FredoSpline's Bezier NURBS tool, and I'm going to click on plane. I'm going to set it to Z just to make sure that these all get drawn along the same plane. And we're just going to draw a simple shape. I don't want to get too complex with it for right now. We're just going to draw this curving shape right here. We're going to hit the Enter key. So what that's done is that's drawn a curving line with this tool. You can adjust it if you want to by adjusting these control points. You can also adjust the number of segments to make this look a little smoother, as well as the amount of tension, which is going to make your curves a little bit more organic. So I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. I'm going to hit the Enter key. Basically all we've done is just created a curve. Well, now we need to create our guideline that we're going to use as the base point or the baseline for ShapeBender. And so usually what I do is I figure out the overall length of this curve right here, then I draw a guideline to that length. So in this case, this is going to be a 55-foot, 6 and 15/16 line. So 55-foot, 6, 15/16. So unfortunately, I can't control that too finely just because the curve is kind of driving the length in here. But basically, this is how long this line would be if we straightened it out. And so it gives me a good reference point. And so now what I want to do is I want to draw my boards that I'm going to bend along the shape. So I'm just going to draw this to be 4 inches or 3.5 inches wide. We'll close it in and we'll push pull it to a thickness of, we'll call it 1.5 inches for right now. And then I'm just going to triple click on it, right click, I'm going to make it a component. I'm going to click on create. Make sure that you go back in outside of this group and you redraw this line because you're going to need it as a reference later. But I'm just going to draw a line across this along this object right here. Then I'm going to use the move tool in copy mode to create an array. So I'm just going to move this up 3 inches. Then I'm going to type in times and maybe like 15. So that'll make 15 copies. I think that'll be, let's say times 25. There we go. That's a little taller than my default model, so that'll probably work a little bit better. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to do a shift click to deselect this edge that's in here. Then I'm just going to right click and I'm going to make this a group. So now what we have is we have a group that we want to bend. We have a baseline that's running along the red axis. Making it run along the red axis is going to be really important. Otherwise, this won't work. And then we've got the shape that we want to bend it along. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to activate ShapeBender with this selected. I'm going to click on this line right here. And little note, depending on how complex this is, you may want to save your model before you do this. This should probably be fine. But then I'm going to click on my target shape. So if I click over here, what that's going to do is that's going to bend this along this shape. And so sometimes what you might get is you might get a weird thing like this, right? Where this like goes off into the distance. That's because your start and end points are flipped. And what you need to do is just tap the down arrow in order to swap your start and end points. And then this should look fine. And so notice how what that's doing is that's just going through and that's bending this along this shape. So now I'm going to hit the Enter key in order to finalize my bending. So now we have this whole shape. right? So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a copy of this just so I have this original over here in case I need to do anything with it. But this is kind of boring, right? Like it's fine. I mean, you've got all these boards that are bent along this path, but let's make it so it has a little bit of taper. Well, to add taper, I'm going to use another extension called FredoScale. So FredoScale adds more scaling options to SketchUp. So instead of just being able to scale like up and down, in and out, you can also do this along like different angles and things like that. Well, there's a tool in here called box tapering. And what box tapering is going to do is it's going to allow you to taper things based on the bounding box around the outside of this object. So when I select this with that tool active and activate box tapering, I can click and drag this one side, and what that's going to do is that's going to scale the one side over here down. So what that's going to do is that's going to give this some up and down on this side. And notice how it's taking a little while to do that. That's because there's so much geometry in here. It is something to be kind of aware of, but notice how now this is tapered down. Well, now let's click to finalize that, and then let's taper this other side down even more. So we're going to taper this side down maybe to like 0.25 and hit the enter key. And so what we've got is we've now got this taper in here. Whoops. That makes our shape taper down. And if this was too short, you could maybe like scale this back up. There's a lot of different things you could do with this, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this as is for right now. And so now let's say that we had this shape and we wanted to model out maybe some like seating or something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to select this original shape. I'm just going to make a copy of it, and I'm going to move it over here. So what that's done is that's just given us a copy of this shape. Well, I'm just going to use the offset tool to offset that in by whatever the thickness of a seat might be. Maybe call it like 24 inches or something like that. Then I'm just going to draw a line over here. I'm going to draw a line over here. And we're going to move this up. So we're going to move it up to whatever the height of a seat might be, and I apologize to my designers, I don't know what that would be. We're going to say 18 inches, and then I'm just going to give it a little bit of thickness. So I'm going to push-pull, give it a thickness of maybe, we'll call it an inch for right now. So from here, you could add whatever detail you wanted to, right? You could add tables, you could add people, you could bring this into another model. You can see how you can use the extension Shape Bender in order to create some really complex shapes really easily inside of your models. So that's where I'm going to end this video. Leave a comment below and let me know what you thought. Have you used a method like this before? Can you see yourself creating this kind of shapes? I just love having that conversation with you guys. If you like this video, please remember to click that like button down below. If you're new around here, remember to click that subscribe button for new SketchUp content every week. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.